guys, bonjour tout le monde, всем привет, как вас дела? 안녕하세요 여러분, bon dia, ¿cómo estás? And welcome to the 6th episode of Tinaz Corner of the second season. Sometimes we work so hard in our lives so that when we retire, we'll have the break of a lifetime. We'll take that adventure we always wanted to go on with our family and bond. But wouldn't that be too late? I mean, we never know about tomorrow. After all, when the COVID-19 took place, it threw a lot of people's plans out the window. When I was a child, I would play country game with my friends. We'd each pick a name of a country, and then we would draw a huge circle and then a little circle in the center where we would have a controller standing in the middle and the others on the outer circle. And then the controller who would be standing in the middle will call out a country or any country that the controller wanted to call upon. And then if you were listening and it was your country, you'd have to run very fast to the center of the big circle. And then you'll have to yell to all of your friends to stop. Because if you didn't, it meant they would drift further and further away from you. And when you reached the middle and shouted stop to all of your friends and they stopped, you would have to find or look around to find someone who's much closer to you, because you have to take at least 5 jumps to get to them. And then you would tag them to be the next person who'd be the controller in the middle. But if you can't reach anybody, then it will be your turn to be the controller in the middle and call out anybody else's country's name. Now, talking about countries, last time we were in Kenya. So today we'll be jumping on to Malawi. So our adventure today is in Malawi. But where lies Malawi? Malawi is a country in Africa, in the southeastern part of Africa. And the capital city is Lilongwe. Now there's so many things you can do in Malawi. So how about we take a look at what I have in store. Planning to do to entertain yourself on Christmas? Is it the same old routine year after year? You wake up, you go to church, you come back, you cook, you eat, you spend time with your family just talking back and forth, and then you open presents, and then maybe you go to sleep, and then it's another day. It does sound boring, doesn't it? Well, how about we liven things up? I mean, we can do so much more to make Christmas fun. I know that Christmas isn't all about material things like giving presents and receiving presents. It can be a whole lot more. But since we have so many restrictions because of the COVID-19, myself included, I cannot be with my family in Zimbabwe, but there are things that we can do as individuals living by ourselves in our own apartments to enjoy Christmas. We might call our family and friends, do a video chat with them. We can also do so many activities, via those video calls. And if you have your family with you, you have your children and your husband or just your children, I have a good idea for you to enjoy Christmas with your children. Entertain them through shadow theater. So how about we get into what kind of a shadow theater I've prepared just for you and your family. Stay tuned. So this is a fun activity that you could try out with the kids at home or even with the adults too. I mean, you could try all kinds of things. Now, for this activity that you're going to see, I used a white sheet of cloth. So I had a really big white sheet and I cut it up into different pieces that I can use throughout the year with kids. And I have with me a flashlight to reflect the shadows. Sometimes you can even make your own puppets. I mean, I just drew out different animals, a cat, a dog, a duck, as well as a hen for the story of the little red hen. And then I just painted them in black and then let them dry, laminated them, and then stuck the animals onto ice cream sticks, as you can see, and use the same idea. Instead of using fingers and hands, you can use the shadow puppets for the same shadow theater activity. I hope you try it out for this Christmas, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. Tina's Corner. Now, it's a sad thing amongst black people or Africans in general. I may not speak for everybody, but this is what I've noticed. That when somebody makes it in life, we tend to think, well, they're full of themselves. And because they've moved on to the next level, they are no longer part of our community. We are not curious to know how they made it to the next level. In fact, we tend to cut ourselves from them or kiss up to them just so they can give us a little bit or a little bit more, just so we can have a part of their riches as well. Which is really sad because we have to try to learn to empower each other. For those who have made it, to share their knowledge, to empower their own brothers and sisters out there, even those they are not related to, on how they can make it in life. One thing that I want to inspire you out there is use your skill set. What is it that you really can do? Something that nobody can take away from you. That is your own skill set. It could be your voice. It could be that you're able to make something with your own hands. You can write, you can talk, you can do so many things, but that one thing that nobody can take away from you, and maximize on that. You might not make $1 million in one day, but being patient, taking one day at a time, using your skill set to make something and putting aside a little bit at a time, you can get to a place where you can call yourself financially stable. Make sure that you invest in your health, such as health insurance, a funeral policy for yourself, or what is known as a life insurance, and also invest in your children's education, including your own education. Advance your skill set, and that way you can grow from where you are to another level. Now, for years, people have been traveling to different countries around the world, and they would go back home and write reviews about what they would have experienced, the culture, the food, the traditions of that country, and they would write reviews in newspapers, televisions, tell their family and friends, and spread the word even to their business partners. Some people would even open up restaurants so that they could show how much they enjoyed a certain cuisine. Some people would open up a Japanese restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, a Thai restaurant, a Korean restaurant because they liked certain cuisines when they visited those countries and would like to bring that same cuisine into their own country. Now, Christmas is around the corner. How about bringing about a different cuisine to your table this Christmas? African dishes. Since I'm in Malawi, or talking about Malawi today, how about I show you what I liked about Malawian cuisines? so stay tuned.
Kunaka, Manandi, delicious.
So the main ingredients for my curried fish are the fish itself, and I make sure to remove the bones before I cut it up, and then some salt, 1 teaspoon of curry, 1 clove of garlic, half an onion, and grated tomato. Now let's move on to the next stage. Now I'm melting butter in my pan, and then I'm going to put my fish in it. And now I'm going to add some salt on my fish. And wait for it to heat up. I'm going to use a wooden spoon to stir back and forth my fish. I'm going to add some garlic now. And some onions. And continue to stir back and forth with my wooden spoon. I'm going to add my curry, 1 teaspoon of curry, and stir lightly, not too vigorously, otherwise I'll break all of my fish. Try to cook over medium to low heat. Now I'm going to add my grated tomatoes. And there you have it, nsima and curried fish. It's done. You can add a green vegetable if you choose to, or you can eat it like this, but it's done. Like your own A Taste of Africa product, be it a mug, a t-shirt, a backpack, a notebook, why don't you head on over to my Shopify page? The link is listed below. Wherever you are around the world, you can get your own product mailed to you. Until next time, enjoy A Taste of Africa.
I looked up and saw the storm clouds coming. I knew that it was gonna be a big
Who's coughing? You've made it to the end of this video. Do hit the subscribe button if you haven't for more entertainment, or click on the next video for more entertainment, because Tinaz Corner is full of crazy and fun things that we can do all together. To you, my band of lovelies out there, until next time,